works for the bass guitar channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I'd like to close out our examination of the Lydian mode, and in particular the F Lydian mode, which actually starts on the 4th degree of the C major scale. So to recap, let me show you what it looks like on a 6-string bass in 2 octaves. Obviously, we can go lower, hit that low A. Another way to look at this is and then down we can go. Once I've become very familiar with every note in the F Lydian mode, and if you think about it, since we've been doing 2 days on each of the 4 modes, that means we've worked 8 days really in the key of C, but we're just starting in different places. So I know where every note in that C major scale, D Dorian mode, E Phrygian mode, and F Lydian note is up and down the neck. The next thing I do is I like to isolate each of the notes in a triad. Now, why would I do that? Well, why would I do that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because each and every note can create a triad. And one of our major roles as bass players is to articulate chord changes. So here, think about this. If you were playing with a drummer and a saxophonist, you would be primarily the only harmonic instrument. Now, that's not saying that the sax doesn't do harmonic stuff, but let's say the saxophonist is running off in a solo. How does he know where the chord changes are? Well, he's got them in his head, but the audience listening is going to hear triadic relationships on you. Yeah, the bass player. So here's what I do. So let's start with F. So we have F, A, C. Major triad, right? G, B, D. Major triad again. A, C, E. There you've got a minor triad. B, D, F. There's a minor flat 5. Then we got the C, which is major. C, E, G. Then D is minor. E becomes minor. And then we're back to F. Major, then G again. Another major, then A. That's minor, and then once again we have the B, which is that minor flat 5. Let's try this ascending and descending. Ascending and descending, the next time you can do descending and ascending. And then lastly, all descending. This way you're going to hear the intervals in a variety of ways. So it's always a good thing. Ear training is important. You remember yesterday I showed you how to voice this on the 4-string bass as a chord. You have your root, your major 7th, another way to look at this would be the F, that B, and the F sharp, rather the E. And lastly, though this doesn't have the sharp 11, this is something I stole from Bill Frisell. It's brilliant. It's actually 1. Sounds weird, doesn't it? The root and the note right next to it. But if you add that major 7, really has a nice sound. And if you add chorus or any of the other effects to it, it's really very, very cool. So let's take a look at my approach now that we have these 4 modes under our belts. Now let's think for a second. As you see on the sheet of paper, I have all 4 modes listed. And beneath each mode, I have the numbers. So if we're looking at C Ionian, C major, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you just knew that, you knew variety of intervals, thirds, fourths, fifths, etc. When we add the D Dorian, we're adding root, second, flat third, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and 8. So now, if you widen your view, you have root, 2, flat 3, major 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, major 7, 8. So you've added to your palette. Now let's look at Phrygian. Phrygian, we have 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 8. So if you add those new intervals, you now have 1, flat 2, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 6, flat 7, 7, and 8. Now, let's add Lydian. Look here, we have 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now, if you add it all together intervallically, you have root, flat 2, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 6, 6, flat 7, 7, 8. You know what you got? You got the complete chromatic scale intervallically. This is a key point. Now, I know there's a lot here to assimilate. What I'm trying to illustrate is there's another way to look at things. So if you can look at any chord that you're on and know that you have 12 available notes, as long as you're hearing the intervallic relationships, it's not just 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. At least not for me. And the point is, you've got all these other notes next to them. So if you start thinking in terms of, well, here, major third, minor third, that's a major third, that's a minor third backwards, 4, sharp 4. Once you have the sound of those intervals under your belt, there's so much more you can do. So on Monday, we're going to talk about the Mixolydian mode. Have a great weekend. Study hard. My name's David Gross for the Bass Guitar Channel. If you're looking for lessons or correspondence courses, go to the website. Have a great weekend. Nice to see you. Take care.